Hello. Let me do my September goal wrap-up video. I'm going to do my September goal wrap-up video, and then I'm going to attempt at whatever my report is for my meta goals. I was supposed to do my meta goals on the weekend, but that didn't happen. That's the thing with goals. You overshoot them, but then hopefully you circle around and get it done, which is always the key thing is getting it done. So yes, let's look at my September goals. My September goals, which I have decided my little handy journal here, which I have my kind of my daily entries with listing what I've done, and then just a little essay on whatever happens to be on my head in my head at that particular moment. Uh, that I do at the end of every day. That I would put in the back. I've actually already put in the back my weekly goals, which I think I showed last month's check-in, where I just had September the 5th to 11th down, and I've been doing that for each one because I sit down with this book every night, so I can kind of flip to it at the end of a day and kind of look at it and add things to it and stuff like that. So it's really handy. And I was thinking, because just a separate book that has my goals in it is neglected, and a lot of times I actually neglect to put in my goals for that month. That's where they were supposed to go, but I'm finding I'm not using it. And that perhaps we're gonna try something that putting goals in here would be better. So I put this is my September goals, which I'm gonna use that to. I will put my October goals in here when I get them. Obviously, probably coming out of my September goals, I'll put them in here at the end of the book because it's somewhere I actually might kind of just continually look at throughout the month, and that'll be pretty valuable. So that said, that little housekeeping and process, which is it's all about process going. Let me talk about my September goals. So, September goal number one was time with Ja. I don't know if we've been doing the weekend, kind of having a little moment for a little outing for ourselves. It has not happened. We've definitely done some couples things on the weekend though. We'll come to one of them at the end that was an unexpected thing that ended up adding as a goal because we accomplished it. But we are using the breakfast nook in the morning and sitting there and chatting, and the dogs like to eat with us there, so we sit down, they eat their food, and we chat and we kind of talk about our day. So it's not I would like to kind of have those times, like a time on the weekend where we did stuff that isn't like couples chores, but more like, hey, couples going for a walk or going down to the water and having lunch together, stuff like that. So that's a work in process. Yeah. Number two is dispose of the bamboo stump. Basically a whole knot of root system that I chopped that down, and then it just been sitting there in the backyard. And I've been trying to kind of loosen it up or break it, and the whole thing is just kind of clumped together so hard, and it was so heavy. And Jackie was looking out the window at it and said, like, well, the compost, the kitchen, the garden scraps dude will be coming this Tuesday. Why not, you know, try and get it in there. I was like, oh, it's so heavy and stuff like that. But I went over and thinking like, okay, I'll try and lift it up and see if I can get it in. Maybe I have to empty out the wheelbarrow. It's all full of dirt at the moment. But it's like, oh, and I lifted it and went, oh, this is a lot lighter. It's still freaking heavy, but I managed to get it over and get it into the thing, and it's done. Hooray! I can check that off, and it does not have to be on my list anymore, which is awesome. Number three is cut more bamboo. Haven't done that at all, but I think I will continue. I will carry that one over onto my list of slowly kind of working my way through that backyard and trying to clear it. So, unfortunately, the next two stands of bamboo are a lot bigger. So, I'll keep on chipping at it. I also have to be not mindful of my back, but if I can chip at it, a little bit each weekend, that would be really awesome. So yeah, cut bamboo. None this weekend. None this week. Number four is swim once a week, which has been an utter failure. I have not swum at all. We're definitely now out of. We're now definitely out of our our warm summertime stuff, this is the time when it's like, okay, I need to dig up my wetsuit, put it on, and go for a swim that way if I'm going to go for a swim. And I think I will. I will. I think I will. I will. That is something that I will carry forward into my next thing, and we'll try and get like one swim a week, because it's I'm doing my osteo, which is really helpful, and that's been the big probably main reason why I haven't felt like I needed to swim, because I've been doing my osteo. However, I have been feeling kind of creaky even with the exercises, so it would be really good to put that swimming back into my schedule. So yeah, I'll have a weekend coming up. It'll be October. Oh boy. And I'm going to go for a swim. I'm going to go for a swim. I've watched my neighbors, the neighbor ladies down the thing, putting me to shame, going out for swims in their wetsuits. It's like, okay, come on, woman up, John. Woman up, Jay. You can do that. So yes, number 5 is do my osteo exercises daily, which yes, I have been doing them daily. I have little ease on my cheap Castle Building Center calendar here, and I've been doing the exercise. I've been doing exercises daily, so that's been awesome. Number 6 is phone care habit, which is making sure I put this little glowy box in this room when it's time to go to bed, and I've been doing that. That's been great. Number 7 is work on time. I need to work on this. I'm continually sliding in just at 3 or a couple of minutes past 3, and it's just like it's unacceptable. And a part of that is I need to do the thing again of setting an alarm for 2 p.m. Get ready so that I can be out of here. I can be biking out of here at 2:30, not at 2:37, not at 2:40, not at 2:41. I need to be biking out of here at 2:30 so that I am at work plenty of time, and show respect to my colleagues at work, and to hopefully make things a bit smoother at work. Yeah. So that is definitely something I need to work on. There's a reason why that is one of my goals, is because I've not been reaching it. I need to keep on pushing that at myself until it becomes so natural I don't need to put it on a goals list. Number 8 was to publish 5 videos on my main channel. As a result of publishing a review yesterday of Actress and a review of Accidentally in Love Today, two books that would rarely get put into the same sentence together. I actually published 7 videos this month, which is great. That's seems fine to me. I didn't do a Sunday reads on the 4th, but I did do one, I think on the 11th, on the actually not in the I shouldn't even call them Sunday reads. I should call them Monday reads. Monday reads on the 13th, 20th, and 27th. So that made up 3, and then the other 4 were I think all review videos. So that's really good. That's good. I'm happy with that. Number 9 is walking the dogs daily and reinforcing Theo's training. Not been walking the dogs daily. A part of that has been rainy weather, but a part of that has just been just like what I've been doing. Other things I've been doing. Getting up early enough. That's the next thing. But yeah, I want to be walking the dogs more regularly, and that means finding the time for it, and doing that, even if it's just a short walk around the block. I think it's really important, especially for Theo, but it's important for Shira, my older dog, who is mature dog, but needs the time getting out and into the world. I think it's really valuable for the dogs. So number 10 is lights off by 1 p.m. and up at 8:30 a.m., which I think I talked about whether I didn't know if that was quite enough time for me for sleep. I'm going to have to see. But I mean, I get home at, at some point, quarter to 12. By the time I've gotten myself into bed, I do a couple of videos I do at least one video, maybe 2 videos before I come in, when I'm out with the dogs, letting them around in the yard. Then I come in and I write in do my entry in here before I finally get into bed, and then I have a snack and I read for a bit, it can be a little bit later. It's actually not too much later. It's like more like 1:20 or something like that, but I think it's something I need to be mindful of, especially if I'm having trouble getting up at a timely fashion during the day. I mean, I feel like I'm getting enough sleep, but that's maybe at the expense of if I could jigger it around so that I could have, like, that half an hour, half an hour for the dogs for a walk. That would be really good. Number 11 is write 15 minutes a day, which um, I don't know if that's inspired by accidentally yours, erotic tentacle porn. Well, erotica. It's not completely porn. I have actually been writing my 15 minutes a day, and I seem to have kind of gotten a good rhythm going, a good method going for my writing, so that it's not taking away from from the rest of my day. So that's actually been good. It's probably been more like 15, 20, half an hour. It's one of those things you start writing and it's like just want to write more and get the story done. So yeah, that I think was my goals. There's a couple of additional ones that I actually put on as I was listening back to the original September goals video, the here's what I'm projecting kind of thing. Um, was that put I think putting weekly reads videos down as a goal was a good thing to have. They do take a bit of time. They take like they usually that nukes that day, that weekend day for any other videos. Because it's like I film it and then it needs to go out that day, kind of sort of thing. But I do find it useful to try and be a little bit more, trying to be a bit more concise, leave out more stuff that might have actually bled a little bit into my last two review videos, which were a little less exhaustive, a little bit more just kind of like, oh, a little bit more, a bit more casual, a little less trying to be all encompassing of a work. So I think those were good. I don't think they're a bad influence on. It's a bad influence on me as it goes. Shorter videos can be far more effective videos. That said, I'll probably still end up making super long videos. It's just who I am. Um, number one I Another one I added to the thing was prepping the kitchen for the new fridge, because we kind of had a chat. One of the things we did chat about was like, what would really help what's one small thing that we could do to kind of help our lives. And Ajaz was getting a new fridge. The fridge we had was the old style fridge where you have the freezer on the top and the actual stuff that you actually go to the fridge for down below, and she had a horrible time trying to get in there. It was always crammed. Things were going rotten. Just because it was hidden, not because the fridge was breaking down. It was an old fridge. It was like it's like an 8 or 9 year old fridge, somewhere in there. I think we kind of looked it up. I mean, it was a solid enough fridge, but we like getting a new fridge, and it's like, okay, let's, and also being able to get a new fridge while the old fridge was still working fine was actually not a bad thing. It's like it was an old fridge, but it was working, but like, how many more years were we going to get out of it before suddenly we were in a mad scramble to try and get a fridge? And actually at this point, um, it can take a little while to get a new fridge. So we spent the time culling the fridge, culling our freezer, uh, pulling out the fridge, cleaning it. Did a lot of work. I ended up feeling very sore after a couple of those days, just because a lot of bending and twisting and stuff like that. But got it all. We got to the day where the day before the fridge was going to arrive, and it was just as simply of freezing up some stuff to put into coolers, and we're able to load that stuff into the coolers on the day. All went smoothly, no panic. It was like really like, wow, we handled that, which is like really good, because sometimes things happen and they happen haphazardly and it's a super stressful thing. It's like, no, we're able to kind of space this out over a couple of the weekends and a couple of days. And yeah, that worked really well. So I'm putting that on my goals list, even though it wasn't there at the beginning of the month, because yeah, we did an awesome job. um I've got a couple of things that I'm gonna put on my goals list for next thing, which just I'm gonna note here is one is bathe, groom, Shira. and the other one is weekly combing of Theo. And then yeah, doing the meta goal work, which is going to be the video after this, so I won't go into that right now. So yeah, so that's September. Um, some things that I, completely fell off my list, like walking the dogs or cutting the bamboo. Um, but I also got a good couple, and getting to work on time. Um, you know, those are things that I'm definitely going on the next list, and I'll think about that and talk about that either tomorrow or on the weekend where when I do that goals list. I'm going to start putting my goals list in here, because I think that's a useful thing, is just to have a goals list. September's goals 2021 in here, just because I think it'll be useful to have it all in one book. Which yeah, and then I fill up the book quicker, and then I can get a new book. Ooh, all right. So that is my September goals wrap up. More videos later.